Featuring on the Fringe circuit, Interplay is an entertaining play with a purpose.
The idea started with Susan. The purpose was she was going to work with the people at Ekazini, which is a project where they make artworks. And then she found out that they don't know much about the internet.
One or two of them had some idea, but the majority of them actually didn't know what the internet was. And so we were trying to think of a way that we could tell them about the internet or describe some of the possibilities, as well as highlighting some of the limitations, so they didn't think that the internet would be something that would just solve all their problems, but in a way that they would be able to relate to and in a way that would be meaningful for them.
The Ekazini group, that group, they got their training from a place called Dakawa. They got trained there, and then they opened this project at Ekazini where they sell their artworks, where they make them and then sell them. And at the moment they're struggling because the Ekazini is like way in the township, and many people do not know how to get there.
And the Ekazini Outreach Project actually shared a space with a group of actors. And so I was standing there and talking to them and just thought, well, okay, if storytelling is the traditional way of passing on knowledge and they're sharing a space with actors anyway, then why don't we see if we can try and describe the internet through a story or through a play. It turns out one of the artists had passed away last year, sadly, and he had left his wife with 300, 400, maybe even 500 pieces of artwork. We thought, rather than just creating a story out of nothing, how about we actually ground this story in someone's actual experience? At that stage, because part of the purpose of this project was to see how we could use the internet to sell artwork, even though she wasn't one of the Ekazini Outreach Project, given that she had 300-400 pieces of artwork and she didn't know what to do with it, we actually invited her to be part of that project, where we would hopefully eventually, in partnership with Ekazini Outreach Project, design something to enable them to sell their artwork online. Initially, when I thought of the idea of putting together a play to describe the possibilities and the limitations of the internet, it was only supposed to be a very small thing. So I was originally thinking low scale, let's just get a group of actors to stand up in front of the Ekazini Outreach Project and do their thing. And the idea was floated fairly early on, actually, in the piece that, well, maybe we should consider submitting an application to the National Arts Fringe Festival as an opportunity for the actors. And I think in some ways that was the beginning of this thing just taking a whole life of its own.